Thank you. Crap, I just lost a bet to Stricker I wouldn't cry. Thank you, Sam. All the inductees, all the people who, all of past Hall of Famers who are here, players, the World Golf Hall of Fame Committee, thank you for inducting me and passing me in here. Jay, thank you for moving the age down from 50 to 45. I'm going to start kind of retro. So I'm going to go at 6 years old, so 40 years ago. So at 6 years old, I was getting hooked to the game of golf. My dad was playing, and he was a member and was able to play at what was called the Navy Golf Course in Long Beach, California. In order to play as a dependent, you had to be 10 years of old or older. Obviously, I did not fit that criteria. So in order for me to kind of play in the game, we found a par 3 course, Hartwell Golf Park in Long Beach. So my mom took me there, and the pro, Rudy, at the time, my mom was like, hey, can my son play here and practice here a little bit? Okay, let me see him hit a few shots. Well, I hit a few shots, and he says, okay, he's got unlimited balls. So that's where I ended up started playing. So fast forward a couple years, I'm now 8 years old. I'd be dropped off. One of the great things about playing at Hartwell, they had a tournament every Saturday. So I spent the week practicing at the park, right down the street. So my dog Boom Boom and I, which I named after Freddie, we'd go down to the park. I'd hit balls in the dark, in the grass, through trees, in the sand, through the hula hoops, everything, right? So my dog, I would only hit 2 golf balls. He would go lay down next to each one of them. Well, that's kind of how I learned how to play the game of golf. Well, at the age of 8, my mom, during those tournament days, was so supportive and so great, she would give me 75 cents. So the 75 cents will allow me to buy a hot dog, and then 25 cents would be used to use the payphone to call her to come pick me up. And if the payphone swallowed it, I had a backup. Well, that backup then turned into a putting contest, which I ended up pocketing a few more quarters, which led into skins games, which led into Dad's finding out how did you get more quarters? Then he's saying, okay, well, you can't putt for quarters. Fine, done. I won't putt for any more quarters. I come home a week later, I got a pocket full of dollars. I told you not to putt for quarters. I didn't. Okay? No more putting for money. Done. Next week, come home with a pocket full of dollars. He says, I thought I told you never to putt for money again. I didn't. I went out and played skins. So that was my introduction at about age 8 to about 10. So during that time, my dad used to get off work at 4:12 at McDonnell Douglas. And my mom would drop me off at the entryway to the golf course. Well, I would make my way to what they call the old back nine, is a ditch. So my dad, as you have known, is a former Special Forces and a Green Beret. So Mom would drop me off. I would hop into the ditch. I would then walk on the south side of the ditch, because the clubhouse was perched up 2 stories, so they could only see on the north side of the ditch. So I would sneak down the first hole, the second hole, but Dad taught me how to always grab a piece of foliage, cover yourself up, listen for noise, if you hear anybody coming, lay still. Part sniper. So I would lay there, I would pick up golf balls. Obviously, military guys aren't the straightest of players. So at the time, I'd be in the ditch finding golf balls, And as we all know, back in those days, there was only sirloin or balata. So if I found a balata ball, are you kidding me? I got a brand new, fresh balata, I could use this in a tournament. Sirloin balls were only used for practice. So I would hop in the ditch, walk the first 2 holes, listen for any noise, any cart traffic, any guys coming over from the playing 18. If I hear them slice the ball over in the trees, drop down, lay still, covered up. I would lay there under the bridge at the 3rd hole. And I sit there and I just wait patiently. There would be a cart come up. You there? Yep, coming up. So my dad would be in a cart, and we'd go out there, and at the age of 8, would play underage at the golf course. And the great thing about Navy golf course is the first 9 holes played all the way out, kind of like a links course. So the further you went out, the further you went from the clubhouse. So when I got out there, it was by then, especially in the wintertime, it was already dark. So we had a rule: if you ever lost the golf ball, we'd be done, and we'd have to drive in. So part of understanding how to shape shots, knowing where I hit it on the face, where I would hit it, all started then. So if I hit it, Dad, I pulled it left, it's up the left side, it's going to be here. We drive there, it's there. We could continue playing. The furthest I ever made it was 17 holes in the dark. Never quite got to 18. But one of the things that drove me was this passion to play the game of golf. I was never going to be denied to play. I loved it. I had this burning desire to be able to express myself in this game of golf. One of the things that Dad had instilled in me is that he grew up in an era, same era as Charlie Sifford, and why my son is named after Charlie, is that you had to be twice as good to be given half a chance. And so that understanding and that drive, as Sam said, train hard, fight easy. I made practicing so difficult, hurt so much, because I wanted to make sure that I was ready come game time. I hit thousands of balls, hands bleeding, aching, just so that I could play in a tournament. Southern California Junior Golf Association had amazing tournaments throughout the summer. We'd play all these great golf courses. Now, meanwhile, you have to understand, I only played Hartwell or snuck on the Navy golf course. So one of the neatest things in the world for me was to play on a golf course as I read the name of the golf course, and it had the 2 letters after it, CC. So I was going to go play a country club. So we're going to have fresh greens, not these bouncy POA greens that's all over the place where they're cut probably twice a week. I'm going to get a chance to play fresh greens. Well, playing at some of these golf courses, I was not allowed in the clubhouses where all the other juniors were. The color of my skin dictated that. As I got older, that drove me even more. So as I was denied access into the clubhouses, that's fine. I put my shoes on here in the parking lot. I asked 2 questions only. That was it. Where was the first tee, and what was the course record? Not complicated. So throughout my junior golf days, we didn't have the financial means to play some of the bigger events. As I progressed through the sport, our family was forced to make a decision. As I became of age, I was about 14, 15, I was going to start playing what is called the AJGA, American Junior Golf Association. It was at that time in its infancy stages. But it was where all the top junior golf players were playing all around the country. They were getting exposed to possible collegiate scholarships. College coaches were there to watch them play. Obviously, we didn't know that we were going to have enough money for me to go to college or top college or be recruited. So my family made a tough decision, and at the age of 14 and a half, we took out a second mortgage so I could go out and play the AJJ Tour. Mom stayed at home, Dad traveled. And we went and played. I played the AJJ Tour on our second mortgage. So without the sacrifices of Mom, who took me all to the junior golf tournaments, Dad, who's not here, but who instilled in me this work ethic to fight for what I believe in, chase after my dreams. Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results. But two, and more importantly, you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it. And so that defined my upbringing, that defined my career, and which allowed me to get into a great university like Stanford. From there, I turned pro, and Phil Knight is here, CEO of Nike, and at the time, Wally Uline was the president and CEO of Titleist. Very generous of signing a little punk kid from Stanford, 20 years old, to these exorbitant contracts. First thing I was able to do was I was able to pay off that mortgage. I've gone on to have a successful career. I've been able to play around the world, see cultures, play in different places. One of the goals I had early on in my career was to win on every single continent. Well, I didn't play in the Antarctic floorball. That was out. I lost in a playoff to Nick Price at Sun City in '98. And then we played the President's Cup in South Africa, where our captains, or my captain, Jack Nicklaus, and the international captain, Gary Player, when we went into a playoff, we thought it was in the best interest with Tim Fincham, that it was in the spirit of the game to end the event on a tie. Well, I did beat Ernie in the singles earlier. So it was in the spirit of the game, it was fantastic, but yes, I did get him in the singles, so that was good. So I don't know if you count that as a win or not, it was a tie, whatever, it's a half a point, so. But I was able to play all around the world, chase after my dreams and my passions, and all the relationships I've been able to develop. I've had two amazing parents, I had amazing golf instructors, unbelievable caddies, friends that I've had for a lifetime. Jared Dog, who's here, DJ, B-Bell. Okay, first of all, Brian, I call him B-Bell. We met in 7th grade, Mr. Cordova's Spanish class. And so he runs my golf course design business, but he was also my caddy when I won the 3rd U.S. Amateur. He was also my caddy when I won the Southern Cal Amateur. When, like Faraday, he told me I couldn't hit a shot. I told him to just go over there and shove it. I hit the shot. It was a hacienda, and I started off that day with a 4 on the first hole, and made 8 straight threes. So I was right, B-Bell was wrong. Come '99, Brian was still in college, and he was going to the University of San Diego, trying to get a med school. So I thought he might need a little bit of money. So I said, hey, why don't you caddy for me at Torrey? Okay, cool. Well, we made the cut on the number. I was last off the back 9 on the South course. I shot 62, 65, and beat Billy Ray Brown on the last hole with an eagle. Come Saturday, one of the coolest shots I hit was on the 6th hole, was his blistering 3-wood right down the middle of the right down the gut. Hit a sprinkler head, bounced up on the green, rolled up to the hole, 6 feet. He says, great shot, but if you miss it, it doesn't count. So all these years later, I gave him the car, which was funny because I put him into a different tax bracket, which he wasn't very happy with. But you have to understand, I got to this position because of my upbringing, having two unbelievable parents, but I didn't get here alone. I know that golf is an individual sport. We do things on our own a lot, for hours on end. But in my case, I didn't get here alone. I had unbelievable parents, mentors, friends who allowed me and supported me in the toughest times, darkest of times, and celebrated the highest of times. So I just want to say thank you to my mom, Sam, Erica, Charlie, everyone here, all my friends have come to be here. This is an individual award, but it's actually a team award. All of you allowed me to get here. I just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.